Fame and fortune don't always shield individuals from the darker aspects of human nature. From shocking scandals to heinous acts, these stories shed light on the disturbing reality behind some really well-known figures. My name is AJ with Most Amazing, and these are the top 10 dark celebrities who committed terrifying crimes. At number 10 is Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, yeah, the guy with the catchy beats and the cool vibes. Honestly, I personally want to arrest him myself after that whole quitting smoke marketing stint he just pulled off to advertise for that smokeless grill. He really had us there, but I mean, I should have known it was a sellout. But selling out is hardly the worst crime he's ever committed, so let's delve into his past, as it's not all glitz and glam. You see, back before all the fame, when he was just a regular high schooler, trouble wasn't a stranger to him. Substances, yeah, he got mixed up in that scene, especially with nose powder. He even did some jail time for it. But it gets even darker. In '93, Snoop and his bodyguard got wrapped up in something much worse, an unaliving case. They were accused of shooting a guy named Philip Woldemariam, sorry, I probably butchered that, who happened to be part of a rival gang. Snoop's bodyguard got off the hook by saying it was self-defense, but for Snoop, however, it took 3 long years before he was finally cleared of the charges in '96. Just really crazy. The rap star's got a past that's way more intense than just him spitting his bars. Shows how people can change their paths over time from a rocky start to stardom. At number 9 is Will Smith. Apparently, Willie hasn't always been doing the slapping himself, as way back in '89, he actually called the shots and conspired an attack. He had an argument with a record promoter and things ended up getting way out of hand. So Smith told his bodyguard to basically rough this guy up, whose name was, by the way, William Hendricks. You guys might know him. The thing is, the beatdown was so bad that Hendricks nearly lost his vision in one of his eyes because his eye socket got fractured. And for as bad as that sounds, like Will basically orchestrated a hit, for crying out loud, Will did get punished, but not nearly as badly as one would hope. He was charged with some heavy stuff like aggravated assault, endangering someone, and being part of a criminal plan. But get this, later on, all those charges were dropped. Still, he did spend a night in jail where folks kept waking him up for autographs, which is hardly a punishment. Smith says that he didn't do the beating himself and was just around when it happened, and he still sticks to that story, even though it's left quite a mark on his life. And that was a tale of Will Smith in that crazy night. If you're enjoying this video so far, please support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Most Amazing, and ringing that notification bell. Coming in at number 8 is Jay-Z. Jay-Z, known for his music, has had a past that's not all smooth sailing. You see, back when he was just 12, things got super intense. He actually shot his older brother in the shoulder because his brother took his ring. That's some pretty heavy stuff for someone so, youthful. It inspired some lyrics in a song where he talks about seeing the devil in his brother's eyes, saying he closed his eyes and just fired. Although he never got in trouble for that shooting, Jay-Z would open up later, saying that he was super scared that his life was going to be completely ruined after that. But wait, there's more. In 1999, things got serious yet again as Jay-Z got in a fight outside of a club and ended up impaling somebody in the stomach with a sharp weapon that I can't name. He owned up to it, pleaded guilty to a less serious charge, and got 3 years of probation, which is a pretty big deal considering how serious it could have been. And number 7 is Mel Gibson. Known for his roles in movies like Mad Max and his directing in Hacksaw Ridge, he's made the headlines for more than just his Hollywood achievements. He got caught up in some serious trouble, not once, but quite a few times. Back in '95, at a party with Winona Ryder, Gibson made a shocking reference to World War II's camps, saying some pretty awful stuff and making comments about her heritage. A decade later, he got arrested for driving under the influence and shouted anti-Semitic slurs during the arrest. But that's not all. Gibson has faced accusations of domestic violence from his former partner. Even though it was just an accusation, it led to a restraining order against him. At number 6 is Chris Brown. Chris Brown, the singer, might be famous for his music, but he's also famous for a lot of dark things. Remember the shocking incident with Rihanna? Yeah, back in 2009, things got really ugly between them. Chris Brown got into a physical confrontation with Rihanna and ended up wailing on her hard, like with a closed fist and everything. That's not all. He's been in trouble more than just once. See, he got into fights, like one in a big club, actually involving Drake. And not just that, his own bodyguard wasn't spared either. And then there was the hit and run case in 2013. You'd think getting into all that trouble would put him in jail for good, right? Or at least do something to his music career, but no. Apparently not. He did go to jail for a bit and had to do some community service, but he kept breaking the rules even while on probation. So they made him do even more community service and stay on probation longer. At number 5 is Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, the famed boxer from New York. You might remember him from that infamous ear-biting incident during a match, but his past is actually way darker. You see, as a kid, Tyson was into theft, pickpocketing, and robbery. At 25, he faced charges for SA, criminal behavior, and confining Desiree Washington, a contestant at the Miss Black America pageant. The assault happened in her hotel room. He got a 10-year sentence, but got out after only 3. Sadly, old habits die hard, as in 97, Tyson bit another opponent's ear, and later he faced charges like assaults, connections to substances, and DUIs. It's tough seeing someone with so much talent get tangled up in all that scary stuff. As a reminder that fame doesn't shield one from a dark path. At number 4 is Courtney Love, who's probably most known for her connection to Kurt Cobain, as she was some part of some seriously wild allegations. You see, her daughter, Frances, who was married to Isaiah Silva, gave her husband one of her dad's, Kurt Cobain's, super expensive guitars, and after the two split up, things got intense. There's a whole story about how Love, Britney Spears' ex-manager Sam Lufty, and Ross Butler from 13 Reasons Why, kind of a weird dream team here, supposedly planned a crazy attack. They allegedly wanted that guitar so bad that they tried to kidnap, break into, and hurt Isaiah Silva. It gets even weirder. Apparently, they hacked Silva's phone to make it look like he was in a bad place mentally. Silva claimed that Butler, Lufty, and the chauffeur broke into his place, roughed him up, and kept him there until he signed something for the guitar. Then Silva filed a restraining order against Lufty. These allegations are seriously intense, involving names and some pretty crazy stuff. At number 3 is Charlie Sheen, the guy from 2.5 Men. He's had a rough ride with the law, to say the least. He's been in a lot of trouble, like back and forth between substances and trying to get clean. In 1994, he got sued for hurting a college student who didn't want to do stuff with him. Then he hurt his ex-girlfriend by literally tossing her around. Things got worse when he ended up in the hospital for taking up too much nose powder. His issues with violence didn't stop there. In 2009, he had problems with his third wife, and it got real bad. People said he actually held a blade to her jugular. But the scariest thing is when he apparently pointed an empty firearm at his ex-fiancée and kept pulling the trigger. This is some pretty insane stuff. Charlie Sheen's life has been full of these dark moments, and it's all out there for everybody to see. At number 2 is Tupac Shakur, a much admired rapper. He had a tough history linked to crime. In 94, during a trial for an SA case, he got shot but survived. He ended up in jail right after his court appearance. After serving time, he joined Death Row Records, tied to the Bloods gang. One evening with Suge Knight, a known figure in the music scene, they attended a boxing match. A brawl broke out between Death Row Records' crew and their rivals, the Crips. Later, while driving with Knight, a car pulled up and Tupac was shot 4 times, and he passed away 6 days later in the hospital. Tupac's life was marred by violence and controversy. Despite his musical talent, his connections and crime led to a tragic end that shocked many fans. His story remains a stark reminder of the dangers associated with a life entangled in crime and street conflicts. At number 1 is Matthew Broderick, known for his roles in movies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He had a troubling incident back in '87. While on vacation in Ireland with his then-girlfriend Jennifer Grey, they were driving on the wrong side of the road, and this little mistake led to a terrible crash with another car, causing the people in the other car to panic, that being Anna Gallagher and her mother. The actor faced serious charges for unaliving somebody by dangerous driving, which could have meant about 5 years behind bars. However, the outcome wasn't what many expected. He ended up with just a $175 fine and a lesser charge of careless driving. The family of the victims felt it was totally unfair, calling it a travesty of justice. Imagine losing your loved ones and the person responsible only has to pay 107, not even 200 bucks? It's a tough pill to swallow. This incident shows that even well-known people can be involved in tragic events, and the outcomes might not always seem fair to everyone affected. No one is exempt from the darker aspects of our society, not even our favorite celebrities. As always, if there's a heinous act committed by a celebrity that you think I've missed, and believe me, there are all kinds, let me know which ones you want to see featured next down in the comments. Speaking of which, I wanted to give a shout out to some of y'all in the comments. Cyril the Butt says, "Your work is really beautiful, thanks for doing these," with 3 exclamation hearts. You know, I have to scroll through a lot of hate to get to these kinds of comments, so I really appreciate you being nice. As for the rest of y'all, thanks for all the constructive criticism. But the comments in my government tracking your every move video are absolute gold. This one from Cindy and Rico the Coon Hound Cross says, "Let them track me. I'm really freaking boring." You know what, you might be right. My personal FBI agent has definitely got an easy job. See, my problem is that my taxes are going to pay some dude to spy on me. I can live without that. BC Animus says, "Pro tip, put a different fake mustache on every time you go out or take a selfie. Doesn't even need to be on your face." That one, this is just pure gold. Thank you so much for leaving that. And lastly, Schwansonian Townsonian says, quote, "I am envious of your energy." You know, homie, for every person that compliments my energy, there are like 5 who tell me I'm too loud, so thank you so much. I'll keep it up just for you. As for the rest of y'all, just turn the volume down. It's not that hard. This has been AJ with Most Amazing, and I'll catch you all in another video. Later.